Welcome back to Parenting Fails, the podcast where we share the hilarious, cringeworthy, and sometimes outright embarrassing moments of parenthood. I'm your host, Alex, and let's just say, if you've ever tried to teach your kid how to tie their shoes and ended up tying them in knots, this episode is for you. Now, I'll admit, I've had my fair share of parenting fails. I thought I was a pro, you know. I had my life all together before becoming a parent. I thought I'd be the calm, cool, collected parent, totally prepared for anything. But I quickly learned that nothing, absolutely nothing, prepares you for the chaos that is parenthood. I mean, when you have a baby, you hear all the advice, right? Sleep when the baby sleeps, they say. But no one tells you that the baby will sleep at 2 a.m., while you're desperately trying to figure out how to assemble a crib that looks like it's been designed by a group of drunken IKEA designers. That's when you start to realize that the real parenting skill is surviving on 45 minutes of sleep while somehow managing to not injure yourself with a random screw that you definitely don't remember seeing in the box. Then there's potty training. Ah yes, potty training, the time in every parent's life when you think you're doing great, only to find out that your kid has been secretly using the bathroom like a ninja. One day, they're excited about the potty, and the next, they're suddenly interested in the potty, but only as a target for their new career as a comedian. I'll never forget the first time my kid announced, "I gotta go potty," and then proceeded to run to the corner, crouch down like they were about to squat for an Olympic event, and, I'm not exaggerating, aimed straight for the wall. And let's talk about grocery shopping with kids. Oh, the grocery store. The place where you go in with a list and leave with an entire cart of things you didn't plan on buying but absolutely needed at the moment, because your kid grabbed them while you were trying to figure out if you need large or extra large eggs. And, of course, the moment they start screaming for candy in the checkout line, you can feel the judgment of every single person behind you. They're all silently asking, what kind of parent lets their kid scream for candy like that? And you just stand there, sweating, thinking, if I buy this bag of candy right now, I can avoid a meltdown, which means I won't have to deal with public shame, or my child's tantrum. You know what? It's worth it. Parenting fails don't just happen in public places, though. Oh no, they happen in the comfort of your own home too. Like when you try to make a homemade meal for your kid, and you get all excited thinking, this is going to be so healthy, so delicious. And then, as soon as you serve it, your child looks at it like you just handed them a plate of dirt. And they don't just refuse to eat it, they give you the look. You know the one. The "what did I ever do to deserve this" look. It's soul-crushing. I thought I was ahead of the game. I read all the books, watched the documentaries, and practiced my food prep. I thought I had cracked the code. And then my kid, my sweet, innocent child, decides that the only food they will ever eat for the next 6 months is plain pasta. No sauce. No butter. Just pasta. And you're standing there thinking, are we really at the point where I'm just throwing carbs at my kid and hoping for the best? Speaking of hoping for the best, let's talk about sleep training. Sleep training, the phase where you Google, how to get your baby to sleep through the night, and immediately feel overwhelmed by 5,000 opinions on the best way to do it. You read about the Ferber method, the cry it out method, and every other method with an unpronounceable name. But here's the thing, they all sound great in theory. The problem is, your baby doesn't read the books. So, no matter what method you try, there's always that one night where they cry, and you're standing there in the dark at 3 a.m., rocking them in your arms, thinking, maybe if I just let them sleep on me forever, we'll both be happy. And then there's the classic parent fail, parenting in public. You know those moments when your kid does something in public, and you immediately want to crawl under the nearest table and disappear? Like when your child decides to test the limits of your patience by throwing a full-blown tantrum in the middle of a quiet cafe or a library. You just look around, pretending you don't know that screaming child. You'd be lying if you said you haven't thought about pretending you don't know that kid. But hey, at the end of the day, every parent has those moments. The moments where you think, I can't believe I just did that, or how did I end up here? And that's okay. Because no matter how many parenting fails you experience, you're still doing a great job. Seriously. You're doing the best you can. And let's be real, if your kids are still alive and fed at the end of the day, you're winning. So, to everyone out there who's had a parenting fail recently, I see you. We're all in this together. Let's just take a moment to remember that every perfect Instagram family picture comes with a behind-the-scenes story of chaos, tantrums, and possibly a lot of caffeine. And you know, I'll leave you with this thought: in a few years, when your kid grows up and looks back at all of those moments, they're going to laugh. And, if we're lucky, they'll tell their own kids about that one time their parent, maybe you, accidentally made them wear 2 left shoes to school or let them eat ice cream for dinner. And you'll just smile, knowing that in those moments of absolute failure, you were exactly the kind of parent they needed. The real kind. The funny, messy, trying their best kind. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Parenting Fails. I'll catch you next time, when hopefully, I'll have figured out how to cook a meal that doesn't involve a tantrum or a trip to the drive-thru.